Hello everyone and welcome back to Wargame Red Dragon. We have a 1v1 for you guys today. This was on Ranked Ladder and I'm playing as Sable Chevalier, but we are looking at the perspective of my opponent, the private Wobulator, and it is always a little bit discouraging when you're a private going up against somebody of sort of like middling rank, I guess, with First Lieutenant. But I just want to go through here since we are both in the Bootcamp Rookie Tourney, although we didn't have the pleasure of playing against each other in that bracket, and I think there were a couple of things that could have gone a little bit better for Wobulator, and I wanted to just comment on a couple of those things. So Wobulator, if you see this, it's meant entirely with goodwill, and, well, thank you for the nice match. Now, you may have noticed it's about 7.5 minutes long, which in Paddy Field is, I'd say, anomalously short. Usually this map, even if somebody wins Golf Bravo decently early on, it tends to be a very attritive match. So the Scout Defender is very nice. You're seeing where I'm going, you see what units I'm using, which in Ranked you don't know what's coming at you. So you didn't know I was playing Eurocorps, but I am. And those VABs mean that it's at least French, the Gazelle Canon is French, but the Leopard 2A5 is Western German. So that right there says Eurocorps, not anything else, not just France National. So just real quick, the RBS 56 is both of these pretty good position on them. The issue that you're going to have is right now their only recon is the Scout Defender, and that's moving farther and farther away. Additionally, there isn't all that much chaff that moved up there with them, so we have 5-point boxes coming up just now. Double 121, but a 121 isn't a true super heavy, so you don't get to pick the map on Ranked. And because of that, you can sometimes bring things that almost counterpick yourself with the map versus what you thought it would be. I do also want to say the Falstrom Jaeger 90 double stacked right here probably would have been better off with one of them in the woods and maybe with some recon infantry around the side, just to prevent that sneak around that people will often do on Ranked. Ranked is basically the no manners version, so if people are capable of doing something sneaky to get you, they will. Beast Rhine coming in does damage one of the 121s, not enough to kill it, 1 strength left on that super heavy, but my own 2A5 is going to pop out. We're taking a shot. We get one of them, and looking for that second one, Legion 90 clearing out CV93 ends. We get the second 121. That's 310 points worth of kills right there. And the thing that you might notice is that my 2A5s hopped out of smoke to get that kill. My singular 2A5 hopped out of smoke. We hop back in, denying the block 5, the right click on my super heavy. But the 121s, there's no smoke here. There is never any smoke here. And because of that, I'm able to maintain line of sight on his super heavies the entirety of the engagement. I don't have to guess where they are. I don't have to think, are they farther up or farther back in the smoke? Are they over to the left? Are they over to the right? If I can't see them, I can't shoot them, so I need to get recon forward to get eyes on them, or just chaff to distract those super heavies' guns while I go in to engage. It was a very easy situation comparatively to pick off both of those super heavy tanks. Now my 2A5 did take a bit of a beating, down to 2 strength, but for 300 points with the kills, that seems entirely fine by me, at least right now. The other observation I would make is no hotel cap so far, and I didn't go for a Charlie cap either. Usually people will cap these very early on. Just be aware if you do see that 2-point cap, you need to answer it very quickly, or this map becomes quite difficult, because if you go into a stalemate, the +2 advantage, the 30 points a minute advantage, can really escalate down the line. So, Commando's Para, killing Live Garden, there's not a lot of stuff left here, and if there's going to be a resurgence, it's going to come on the ground, not in the air. So the Fenning 20 mils are a fast response to a VAB. But let's look at this a little bit more closely. We have 2 30-point helicopters killing a 15-point VAB, 60 points on a game that's already a little bit in Red 4's favor. And these guys are basically a one-trick pony. I'm also moving up a Crotal. Now, there is something kind of goofy that happens to the Crotal as well, but we'll see that in just a second. So he does actually see that land. There's no recon up here, though. My AMX 1390 is fine. If this thing is fine out in the open right now, I could probably assume that there's no ATGMs anywhere within shooting distance, just because even though it is cheap, ATGMs will prioritize, generally speaking, the tanks with the optics for your opponent. So we did get the block 5. That was a crit off the Crotal. That's a lucky shot. That shouldn't happen all the time. A little bit of bad luck there. but it does make you wonder why you called in the Block 5 on the Crotal in the first place. It's a 60-point AA piece, Block 5 is a 105-point plane, and the Crotal is higher availability. You cannot trade these one for one. It just won't work in the long run, sort of points economy. And I just want to say, at this point, I do understand why you surrendered. Pretty dominant game on the other side of the board, unfortunately. But I hope taking a look at it, if you are here in the audience, might help you later down the line. It's what I always want. When we have a good game, we learn from it, take a look at the replay, figure out what went wrong, and we go in, fix it, and we have more competitive games down the line. I think that's really an integral part of just encouraging good plays in the community, and hopefully growing it as well as people get more and more skilled. So STRV 121 did get a fair amount of kills there, but not enough to pay for the tank when it died. Need to be smoking those tanks, keep them in mobile cover of your own creation. And then the RBS 56 didn't get many valuable kills. Yeah, they paid for themselves. Probably the only unit that really did here. Yeah. Well, anyway, Wobulator, thank you again for the game, and I hope to see you around either in ranked ladder or, well, later on in public matches as well, pretty soon.